Okay, this is a trade that I've taken today, Monday, 1st of March, last month of the first quarter. So I hope that you've had a good start to the year, obviously all situations considered, and that you've had a good week. I had another weekend intensive, first kind of session, and also I've been a couple of people have said to me about something that could be another option for people that want to take trading more seriously, in the way that I kind of go over trades and we kind of do something on a bi-weekly basis or even a weekly basis. I'm yet to decide, and just kind of go over trades, just almost as if like a personal quality assessor, almost a quality assessor of trades. Obviously, I look at people's trades that they send me through trading view videos that I work with, screenshots, whatever. I'm definitely more than kind of open to doing that for people that I work with. It's something that helps me to help them more. So yeah, I'm looking at that. Now, what the trade was EURAUD. The trade was long, which might surprise a couple of you. Now, the reason why I took it long, well, the reasons was I know that we're in what could be considered as a downtrend, well, possible downtrend break after Friday's strong candle. But we are overall on a downtrend. 50 MA tells you that. Price action's undecided as of just now, but we're coming into a strong potential break and retest area. We've broken and closed beyond this resistance on the daily chart, yes, but today might close back within. But the main kind of reason was the 4 hour and the 1 hour. Now, the previous day was obviously strong bullish, but we have pulled back a decent amount already. But the fact was that the 6 to 10 candle, in my eyes, was quite a weak bearish candle. And that was after a very strong, obviously, couple of days bullish on the 4 hour that I thought, well, we've just made a new low of the day. We made a new low at 7:15 in the morning. And a lot of people enter whenever new lows, new highs are created within the day, but actually they don't think, well, usually there's going to be at least some kind of pullback. There's going to be something. So that paired with the fact that we had the 6 to 10 candle close that didn't close beyond the lows of the previous, the 2 till 6 a.m, just took out the lows and then actually respected this area. It's not support yet because there's not been a bullish 4 hour candle close, but it was like an area that buyers came in that actually, as I'll show you on the 1 hour, there was support on the 1 hour. Now, the main option that I had on the 1 hour was I felt that this area here, this support area at 1.5580, hadn't been closed beyond yet because this wick hasn't been closed beyond yet. Then this wick obviously created a new low of the day, didn't close beyond. So to me, this whole structure is still connected by this wick here. Gets a bit kind of messy. This candle again doesn't create a new low, closes solid bearish, but still structures being protected at low, respected, at low of the day. This candle comes in 9 to 10, last candle of the 4 hour at the time. The 6 to 10 4 hour. I basically waited for a pullback in the 10 to 11 down into the lows, the kind of open of the strong 1 hour candle. Had my stop loss below the lows of the day that allowed me to take the trade. Now, as you can see, this was the trade. Price is basically back at my entry point now. I took most of it off because my kind of management, if I just kind of, the note that I've put in is it's Euro Aussie. It's a trade long. It's a reversal type trade with expectation of a few hours due to the entry area and low of day, as well as higher time frame, overall momentum, the last 4 hour week bearish, strong previous day, but I'm not expecting a new high of the day. That was my kind of that was my kind of thought process whenever I took the trade. Obviously, it is technically a few hours since, but we're obviously back at entry point. I mean, if it does go higher again from here, maybe I could look for an entry if we get another. This 1 hour is going to close strong bearish. Might take out the lows, make a new low, and then create another kind of sideways candle and maybe look for an entry again to the upside. But my kind of main target, as you can see, my alert didn't quite go off for that first target, but I was looking at it. I did see that this 1 hour was strong. So that does tell me that, well, if it doesn't continue strong in the next 1 hour, there could be issues, especially due to the higher time frames. At the time, we were coming up to the highs of the last 4 hour candle close. I treat the last 4 hour candle close, the last 4 hour high and low, the same as how I do with the daily last day's high and low. I expect a reaction, but because it's on the 4 hour, I just expect less of a reaction. And if price is strongly trending, then obviously it's less likely to cause a reaction, and I'm all right with that. So my main first target was round number of 1.56, the high of the last 4 hour, where I expect a reaction slash pullback, which is what's occurring. We didn't quite take out the highs. The high is 1.5595, and the high of this current 4 hour is 1.5593, basically. So 2 pips of a difference. I was quite happy with this strong momentum, strong push. We're coming back into the highs of the last push on the 1 hour. That hasn't broken structure in my way of looking at the market, but it still was a pretty impulsive move. There will be people that see this as a break and retest area. It can be an area that sellers come in, and also I was aware that the trade that I was taking, I was against my lower time frame EMAs, which is how I see reversals. If I'm looking for a trend continuation, the 15 and the 5 minute 50 are more than likely going to be on my side unless it's a really deep pullback. And then maybe they're not on my side at the very start of the trade, but nonetheless, it usually then falls into place. Like for me here, you have a push down here, drop, and then pull back into the area, and then a continuation. But obviously, that was 4:30 in the morning. So that was essentially my thought process. Obviously, the 15 minute 50 is an area that I expect a reaction as well. Now, we were in this kind of tight range whenever I entered. I saw the support down in this area. The support down in this area, which wasn't just any support, it was also the lows of the last 4 hour. It was also lows of the day. So it's not just any support, it's a very strong support area that makes sense in terms of the kind of risk that I'm taking with the trade. Now, price can, due to the US session, it could rise again. It can definitely rise. This 4 hour is going to close more stronger bearish. Still no real support created on the 4 hour, but we do have it on the 1 hour. We could just take out the lows and hold. I'm not really going to be looking at a trade unless something miraculous happens now. I think that I've taken my trade. It's got to kind of basically the first main management point, and I have to just be thankful for that, for what the markets gave me. I'm not someone that is saying always expect like 1 to 5 risk reward, or 1 to 3 plus risk reward all the time, or 1 to 10, whatever these crazy risk rewards that people are putting out there. It just doesn't happen on a consistent basis without taking losses, unnecessary break evens, etc. You're better just taking what the market gives to you, and going from there. Now, I also want to talk about a couple of you that reached out to me today, just saying about the trades that you're taking and just kind of keeping me informed. So one of them was euro dollar short, and the other was Aussie dollar short, and it they both make sense to me. I'm going to be doing a weekly analysis breakdown in a separate video. But yeah, the trades both make sense to me. Obviously, I was Euro Aussie long, but that was just because I saw the area that I was expecting a pullback at the start of the new 4 hour to at least the highs of the previous 4 hour because of Friday's candle, because of the fact that we'd pulled back a decent amount on the 4 hour and we were struggling to break and close below the lows of the previous 4 hours. And I felt even if we are to drop more, pulling back to the 15-minute 50 makes sense. To me, we're coming into the 1 hour 50 area. I think that it can be an area that we do have another push to the upside from, but obviously that depends on the fundamentals of the euro. So yeah, I wasn't really looking at anything else really. I was thinking of possible dollar CAD longs, but I saw that the dollar wasn't really reacting the way that I wanted. There was no real signs of buyers coming into the market. We had a strong bullish candle here, but the previous was strong bearish. We had an impulse, push, new low, and now we've made a new low again. And the overall trend is still down on the daily. It's very similar to Euro Aussie, but I just felt that the Euro Aussie, it looked as though it had more room to the upside than dollar CAD. But as it's a Monday, I usually expect that price goes counter trend to kind of the main move of the week. So it wouldn't surprise me if dollar CAD can get a bit higher again. This 4 hour is going to close pretty strong bearish, but then again, it can be the typical. We're coming into a 1 hour break and retest area. We can get a push, new low of the day, and then we stall, and then we'll just kind of mark out what I think could happen. We have a new push to the low of the day. So right now we have a new push to the low of the day / 1 hour 50. We make some support, come back, retest, and then we start making the push up. We have this area to the left that hasn't been touched yet. Price is now right in that area, and we're at the lows of the day. So again, it's that kind of thought process of, right, well, we take out the lows of the previous 4 hour, which is a strong 4 hour, and then we can't continue on down. We create some kind of buyer's evidence through a 1 hour candle close that then obviously creates some structure on the lower time frames, and look for longs that way. Shorts for me would have to be a pullback into this break and retest area, and then look for a continuation back down to the current lows of the day, which obviously aren't that far away. But I feel that from Friday's push, you can't really be fighting that overall. And we've also got this 4 hour break and retest area as well. If I just mark that out, it's like a bigger medium term rather than immediate, but obviously the immediate will show as well through candle closes. But that to me is essentially, you've got the break, had the close beyond. This can be the retest area in here, and then we look for longs. So yeah, I might look for a kind of lower risk entry in terms of a 4 hour potential higher low area to look for longs. If this current 1 hour closes bullish, we take out the lows of the last 4 hour, I'm quite happy to look for possible longs with the kind of thought process that we could push higher for the next day or so if we create some support, because it is a 4 hour medium kind of term area that makes sense to me. So yeah, I'll leave it here for this video. I'll also do the weekly analysis video, and I just thought I would go over Euro Aussie trade. The kind of main points of it is, don't always expect to get the full move that you were originally expecting. Always set your expectations, but then have your management points in place. And yeah, obviously, because there was no 4 hour bullish candle that I was working with, I did have that thought process that, well, it could get up to the highs of the last 4 hour and sellers could come in again. And it's a Monday, which is obviously a day that is less of a trending day overall in terms of general statistics wise.